Hello there, it is your favorite mental health physician, advocate, and coach. Today on Finding Optimal Wellness with Dr. May, I'll be speaking on managing stress. Managing stress is actually not hard. We just overlook it. These days, it's hard not to get overwhelmed once in a while, but you need to set time aside to unwind or your mental health suffers. Stressor is a part of life. You cannot avoid it, but you can manage it. And here are also 5 A's that I've put together on how stress can be ultimately managed. The first is awareness. Be aware of what is stressing you. If you are not aware of what your stressors are, you definitely will not be able to know how to manage it. The second one, I hear this often, avoid stress. Like I said earlier, you can't completely avoid stress, even when you are sleeping. I hope you know that you're also undergoing some level of stress internally because your organs have to function to keep you alive. Your heart have to pump the blood around the system, your lungs are working, your brain is functioning. So yes, to some level, you're still undergoing stress, even if it is at the barest minimum. So rather than you avoiding stress, instead replace them with confrontational techniques that can help you manage stress adequately. The third is adjust. Adjustment is very important. You are now aware of what the stressors are. It's easy for you to adjust to how to manage it. And of course, the fourth one is adapt. With the advent of COVID-19, there's so much going on online and remote working right now. So yes, so we have to adapt to the new changes, the new normal. So adapting is a very good way of ultimately managing your stress. Last but not the least is accept. There are some things that you know you have absolutely no control over. Accepting it, but the most important thing is how you react to the situations. So how do you track your stressors? I'm asking you watching, how do you track your stressors? So let's make it easy, very relatable for everyone right now. Number one, keep a journal. A journal for a week or two to identify which situations create the most stress and how you respond to them. I remember keeping a journal some years back, and by the time I tracked what was stressing me, it came to a point that every Tuesday between 1 to 2 p.m., my stress level increases. And I found out that there was a particular activity I do at that point in time that makes me feel stressed and increases my stress level. I know what, the stress hormone, the cortisol level, even if you are not even eating, you are dieting, you are doing all the necessary things, if you have stress, you are likely going to add weight. And so I was adding weight, I was stressed, and I realized that particular activity I do between 1 to 2 was what was stressing me. And what did I do? I adjusted, I adapted, and I made it work in my favor as against being constantly stressed. So keeping a journal is a very nice, easy way of managing your stress. Number 2, record your thoughts, feelings, and information about the environment, including the people and circumstances involved, the physical setting, and how you react. Sometimes the people closest to you could be your stressors. Yeah, I know somebody is nodding right now. Yes, it could be your stressors, but you can't do away with them. You can't kill them. You can't jail them. But how you react to them is very important. But the moment you know people that put stressors on you, put you at that position where you feel stress, it's not easy to readjust the whole situation. It's not easy for you to know what to do. If it's somebody that doesn't really matter to you, you can dine with the person with the long hair. If it's somebody that is very close to you, for example, your spouse, could be your stressor, right? And you now have to sit down and have those hard conversations, because when you refuse to have those difficult conversations, the relationship becomes difficult and you are constantly stressed. Number 3, taking notes can help you find patterns among your stressors and your reactions to them. Just like journaling, it's also good for you to take note to know when that trigger, that stressor comes out. Because sometimes that may just make you get angry and you raise your voice, you scream on people, you start bleeding on people that didn't even hurt you, because now you are hurt. It's easy for you to hurt people. So taking notes can help you find the patterns, among what your stressors are, and of course, your reactions to them. It is not stress that kills us. It is our reaction to it that actually kills. So it's important for you to know, again, what your stressors are and how to manage them adequately. So let's recap the 5 A's that I said earlier on. First is awareness. Be aware of what your stressors are. It's very important. The second one, you hear it very often, avoid. Like I said, rather than avoid, replace them with confrontational techniques. No heads on. It has happened. Deal with it. Don't sweep it under the carpet. And make sure that you are equipped with the right tools. The third one is adjust. Adjust to what it is that is going on around, what is stressing you. The fourth one, you can adapt to it. And last but not the least, like I said, there are some things that are not within your control. Accepting it. Stress actually kills. The reason why you see a doctor, the reason why you visit a pharmacist, sometimes the reason why you speak to your pastor or a imam is because you are stressed. So it's important for you, in as much as you know your numbers. If you're an adult watching this, numbers mean you know your blood pressure, you know your sugar level, you know your height and all that. It's good for you to also know your stress factors. By that, it will be easier for you to manage your stress. And it's very key for you to know what it is that you are dealing with. Because if you don't know what you're stressed about, you will not be able to deal with that. Until next time, remember, it's a bad day, not a bad life. Live intentionally.